So we're at the state of the chamber. So since 2014, the chamber has been working to meet its mission to support business connection and promote economic opportunities through strategic objectives that were identified as part of a 4-year plan for organizational growth. Well, that sounds pretty great, doesn't it? But we're all here today because intellectually those words communicate that chamber membership is a sound business decision that invests in the growth of our community. So what? Why? Why chamber? What are we doing? Why are we doing it? We do it because we have a passion for business, a passion for community, and a passion for each other. The chamber works to capture that silent passion that's carried in our mission statement and give it a voice. Today, it's my very real privilege to share a few key areas where we make that passion come real. So come with me as we follow the yellow brick road that weaves through the tornado that is your Chamber of Commerce. First, naturally, is membership. It's who we are as the voice of business. In our recruitment and retention efforts, we're focused on growing and diversifying overall membership as well as increasing our retention rate. The work at the Chamber is often relationship-based, and we look to build business and community partnerships that will support initiatives that help businesses grow. We work to meet the needs of our members with programming, and we've designed a range of options for business development. And as part of our mission and vision, we continue to promote and create economic prosperity, connecting Federal Way to the marketplace in the South Puget Sound region. Your chamber is healthy as we head into the next fiscal year. I want to take a look at our membership stats because they help to tell our chamber story. We have increased our retention of members 10% year over year. In 2014, our baseline for retention of members was 61%. In 2015, we hit a 71% retention rate. In 2016, we reached 81%, which was followed by an uptick of 84% last year. For perspective, the national retention rate for chambers of our size is between 81 and 92%. Where are we for the fiscal year? Anyone want to guess? 91%. I'm glad you're happy. I'm terrified. But we're focused because we're at 91 and we're going to stay there or get higher, right? We're never, just also for perspective, we will never hit 100%. That's not reasonable. But to be where we are is a great achievement, not only of the strategic direction that was set by our board of directors, but by you bringing your passion back to this chamber and back into the business community. So you can also see that we were able to reduce the fluctuations in our growth and decline rates for the first 2 years. We stabilized that rate through 24 and 15, and for the first time in our tenure, our growth rate is higher than our rate of decline. Our total membership count for last year is 484 individual business accounts. Those 484 members represent more than 16,000 employees in our area, and that is a mighty voice for business. Well, we help to make that possible with the team we have at the Chamber. We have here, and you know us all, but Asako is managing our office. Joining us is Heidi Morales. She is working on program outreach and events with us. Of course, Rachel, membership and community relations, and Lorraine, who is taking care of the marketing, some of which includes, with the help of Chris Levitt, all these lights on me right now. But because we like to leverage the expertise of the people that are in our community and we have strong relationships and partnerships, in our office you will also see Ryan Campbell. He handles our travel program. Jason Brown is with us on our healthcare. Jeff Friedman does some SCORE and a few other mentors with him, that one-to-one mentoring you'll hear more about. And of course, Highline College's SBDC with Rich Stockley and Jennifer Dine. I think Rich is here. Where's Richard? Princess Wave. So this year, marks the 65th year of being in business in the state of Washington. 65 years, it's Blue Sapphire. We're going to be celebrating that milestone with the Gala and Impact Awards November 3rd at the Washington State History Museum, because we are making history. Black tie is optional, but fancy dress is going to be required. And of course, we'll have the golf outing next July. Those are our signature events. So the Chamber works with organizations that connect us to business-based ideas, projects, and programs. Our newest project offers a deeply discounted health care plan to Chamber members. This is one of the issues that was identified by our membership as needing to be addressed, and we have found a way to do so. Those plans, you can set up an appointment, call the office, and meet with Jason, or he will come to you. They are available now. You don't have to wait till January to switch over the plan, and we're happy to show you. At least take a look. I know we have put the Chamber through it, and the Chamber itself as a business saved $195 per person with more benefits and lower deductible. So before we took it to the membership, we took it for a spin for ourselves to make sure. So life at the Chamber would be dull indeed without our ambassadors, the volunteer corps that supports not only our events, but also in our efforts of recruitment and retention. Are the ambassadors here? Could you please stand? Ladies and gentlemen, the ambassadors. This year, our first business council is taking shape, and we're getting ready to kick off our Latino Business Council. The council will work to build understanding for the business needs in the Latino community and to engage those companies in business building programs. Board member Greg Garcia is heading this initiative up, and was anybody able to make it from the council today? Well, Greg, stand up and do the princess wave. We're pretty excited about that. So, as we look to develop our business base, we are deeply fortunate to have partners that are willing to invest in the long-term economic success of this community through the Chamber. Do not take these partnerships lightly. It is a rare thing indeed to have organizations like these standing with business, taking a strategic look at what we need from each other to build a successful community. Will our pivotal partners please stand and be recognized? Hold your applause so I can get them all up on their feet. The Federal Way Public School District, Lake Haven Water and Sewer District, South King Fire and Rescue, and the City of Federal Way. In addition to the partnerships, we also have investors. These are businesses who sponsor a range of Chamber programming throughout the year. They help to make what we do possible. Will our investors please stand and be recognized for your support of our community? Let's get them all on their feet before we clap. Sustaining investors, Virginia Mason, Smooth IT. Our cornerstone investors, Red Canoe Credit Union, hello there Rainbow, Highline College, Federal Way Mirror, Home Street Bank, and Sound Transit. Our newest Chamber investor, Columbia Bank. Ladies and gentlemen, making it happen all year long. Now, allow me to take this time to sneak in a little recognition for just one of the businesses that donates quietly to whatever is brewing at the Chamber. That's right. Oh, can I go back? Look at me. You're clapping for Cafe d'Arte or because I manage the clicker? I can't tell. But that's right, our international Italian coffee roasters, headquartered right here in Federal Way, our friends at Cafe d'Arte. We love them because they're full of beans, and they even let me play with fire once, loading the alderwood right into the roaster. It's okay, Chief, I know you're sweating over there, but I was supervised. So what's on the horizon? As we journey toward our shared future, the Chamber has identified key business trends that are going to help drive our economic future for the next decade, 10 years. Look, we're not in Kansas anymore and skipping around with the little dog in a picnic basket because that's the way it's always been done. won't actually get it done anymore. And so we have the Horizon Initiative. What are we going to do? Why are we doing it? To meet our mission. Establishing a baseline of businesses and their challenges is critical if we are to set the right goals for development strategies. Industry clusters are the foundation of local and regional economies, and we need to prioritize building and connecting strong ecosystems of core industries, even as we look to support globally connected companies. We will continue to explore how to facilitate export growth and trade with other markets in the US and abroad, working with companies in our regional corridor to expand supply chain opportunities. As we find ways to deepen regional and industry specializations, we bring new income and new investment to the entire area. People produce value. The skill development of business owners and their workforce is a strategy for economic growth, and we are wedded and committed to it at the Chamber. The future asks us, how can we work with multiple geographic levels to connect Federal Way to local and regional jobs, housing, and a variety of integrated business opportunities? Membership matters, right? And we continue to look for your input. Our snapshot surveys give us a quick look at the issues impacting our businesses and the economic climate through which we must all maneuver. Being in business is not for the faint of heart. There's a lot of flying monkeys out there, and it's time that we address our economic challenges with data-driven solutions. Please take the time to join us and give us your input as we move forward on Horizon. So, the Chamber sees Washington State's multi-billion dollar industries of wineries, breweries, and distilleries as economic engines. They attract both a workforce and visitors to the area. There are 126 distilleries in Washington, 0 in Federal Way. Of the 334 breweries in the state, there are 20 between Seattle and Tacoma. None of them are in Federal Way. There are 900 wineries in the state of Washington, and one of them is in our hometown. Seriously, don't you love having Abe Vineyards in Federal Way? So the Chamber wants to thank the city and the stakeholders for working to get that tasting room open for business and your current efforts to keep that winery open for us. As you might imagine, so let's clap for all those stakeholders in the city for making it happen. Nobody stands alone. We all need each other. So as you might imagine, the Chamber continued to advocate with the city for an enhancement of zoning that would allow these 3 industries to operate here. That process took us from tasting room to micro enterprises to finally welcoming these industries without size restrictions. And a special shout out to the Land Use Committee, and I believe that was chaired by you, Councilman Kopang? Yes, thank you. This is a shout out so I can have a drink of water. So our travel program is one of the ways that we connect with the community at large. Whether you're in business now, or whether you used to be in business and you're now retired, or even if you live in another state, we welcome everyone on these leisure tours. We're heading to Peru in November and Greece in March of 2019 because we have to visit the Oracle at Delphi. We have to get answers to the eternal Federal Way questions. How does Bob Regner match all those clothes? Shoes, socks, really how? What's with Jeff Stock and those ties? Does he have a secret drawer or do they just come right from Todd Zushan's neck? Does Cindy Dusich ever take a nap? Is it possible I will look through the crowds at an event and see that Susan Honda is already standing? She's short, that's our joke. But finally, exactly how does one score one of those swanky sewer forts that gave us such world renown, Lake Haven? Asking for a friend. You guys have already forgotten that story? Well, I'm not going to tell it because Lake Haven hates it, but kids decided to build, I am going to tell it, kids decided to build a fort in the sewer. And national media picked it up and said they were living there. And everyone in my national chamber chain was calling like, hey, how's that Federal Way thing working out for you? I told them I had a room with a view. See what happens? I'm off script already. So, one of the things we're going to do is continue promoting trade and supply chains. Our Certificate of Origin program for exporters helps connect companies reach the global marketplace. Through our program, right here in Federal Way, businesses have exported to 74 of the 195 countries that are available in the world, touching 38% of the world's marketplace. That's kind of exciting. We're also going to be offering 2 seminars in 2019, exporting, one on exporting and one on franchising. So one of the best ways to invest in our members is to provide programming that supports their growth. Our new business series, Mind Your Own Business, will hold its sessions in both English and Spanish and focus on some basic needs, HR, finance, marketing, sales. The Chamber will again offer its Google Workshops, and free one-to-one business mentoring is available in our office with SCORE volunteers and Highline College's Professional Small Business Development Center staff. These are very impactful things that are nationally ranked and, again, available to our members right here. So networking, as you know, is the hallmark of the Chamber of Commerce industry. We do it right here in Federal Way. The Chamber connects you to consumers, to ideas, to issues, and most importantly, to other member businesses. Those members are then able to connect you to businesses and people within their network. And so it goes. People. Helping people grow their business. You don't need the crystal ball for this one. It's what our members do, and it's why we chamber. Later this year, we'll be hosting a business expo and job fair, and we're going to address access to capital at our annual summit in the spring. My papers are stuck. Okay. So, I think as you know, we received grant funding from the state of Washington to support economic initiatives at the Chamber. It was an exciting budget session in Olympia. We'll just go with that. But all in all, the Chamber will receive $650,000 in funds for economic development programs and renovations to house those projects. So thank you to our legislative delegation, House and Senate, for bringing this, and other funding back from Olympia to Federal Way. How much was it? Do you, off the top of your head, do you know how much in total you all brought back?
Community-wide?
Yep.
Over $35 million.
Over $35 million. That's your taxpayer money being reinvested back into your community to make things happen. So special shout out to Representative Christine Reeves, who was the delegation point person for the Chamber grants. I think she's enjoying that photo bomb way too much. And I think it's because she knows how much paperwork was coming our way. Len just is like, do I have to be in the picture? So how are we going to use that? I really wish it was coming to our bottom line, but it's to develop programs and things. But let me share a little bit with you what those programs and things are. The first economic development grant underway is the development of a business retention and expansion program overall that looks at industry segments and the issues that are facing them as they look to have stability and growth. An added bonus to this, when it's done, it will be a great tool for structuring business attraction discussions and strategies. The grant also provides funding to do an inventory of our tourism sector. The inventory is going to identify areas for growth and what areas for connection to our regional community might be. The next grant was an economic development program that supports business innovation, moving identified companies from startup to growth stage. And I just want off script a little bit. We're not looking for startup businesses. We're looking for what our wheelhouse in Federal Way is. Businesses who bought it because they have a passion for doing business. They've put their nose to the grindstone. They've been there 4 or 5 years. They're now up for air and they want to grow. What do they do next? That's what we're here for. That's a pretty big nut, right? That's a lot of business passion right there. So we're going to focus it and support the growth of minority-owned, veteran-related, and women-owned businesses. That's worth it. You can yay and clap on that one. So the Chamber is going to leverage the expertise and the talent of our existing business base, educational institutions, and also other community stakeholders. And what we're going to do, we're going to provide skill development and professional connections and training to all the participants. You guys are so quiet today.
We're counting the papers.
Counting is good. So, prosperity, like passion, is found in our membership. The economic success that comes from businesses that are networked and connected puts money and time back into our community. The question I asked in the beginning, the question is not why Chamber. The question is why not? The Chamber recognizes that before we know what we can be, we have to know who we are. And it's okay to have conversations about where we are going and what we need from each other to get there. Because it's not about winning or losing. It's about finding that middle ground together. As business and community leaders, we must no longer pay attention to the man behind the curtain. There is no great and powerful wizard with all the answers. At the Chamber, there is only we. And we are committed to inclusive, constructive, strategic conversation as we work together for a greater good, one that outlasts us all. Looking at the horizon, the Chamber understands that change is always in the wind, and change is hard. But we do not have to journey far when we are looking for our heart's desire. It's all right here. And the future that the Chamber sees is a bright one. We have the brains to open our doors for business and the courage to sustain and grow those businesses. We are the generators of wealth. We are the creators of jobs. And we are home to the beating heart of the South Puget Sound economy. That is the passion of our Chamber. We live it, we share it, and we believe it because we know. What happened? Because we know there is no place like home. Oh, it was almost perfect. With or without a yellow brick road, it doesn't matter what path we're on. Why? Because when you're looking for the path to business success, all you have to do
Take the Federal Way!